What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Off the Couch Boxing. I'm your host, Reckless Rex Ruger. That, of course, is the Alexis Arguello puppet. This, of course, is the home of the most amazing and real boxing conversations anywhere on planet Earth. You all know the motto: legends, luminaries, world champions, and fighters on the come-up. All coming here to chop it up with your boy, Reckless Rex. And today we got an old friend of the show coming back on here. He checks three of the boxes. World champion, legend, and luminary. Happy to have him back, man. We'll get him in here in a moment. Of course, today is April 27th, the time of this recording. Let me recap what we saw last night, or yesterday, I should say, on April 26th. Been watching boxing most of my life. Witnessed one of, if not the greatest fights. I'm not going to say the greatest, but one of the greatest fights. Let me digress there for a moment and rein it in a little. But certainly is going to crack my all-time top five. Conor Benn lost a unanimous decision to Chris Eubank Jr., but believe me, the boxing world did not lose. Conor Benn may have lost on paper, but even he showed tremendous heart coming up to fight a much bigger, a noticeably bigger Chris Eubank Jr. I don't know if the score should have been 116-112 on all three scorecards. It's a polarizing, controversial decision. There are people that say, and of course, me doing this show, I'm in all the boxing groups. I'm keeping my ear to the pavement. I'm seeing what the people are saying, man. The general consensus is that it's a polarizing decision. Conor certainly has his supporters who believe he at the very least earned a draw. And of course, you got people who think that Chris Eubank had an easy night. But let me tell you, as someone who watched it, he did not have an easy night. Lumped up, cut, extremely swollen at the end of the fight, as was Conor. But two guys who went to war and continued the storied British rivalry that their fathers, Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank Sr., started 30-plus years ago. And by the way, Eubank Sr. did show up, was in his son's corner, both fathers in attendance. The Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in England, packed to the rafters, 67,000 people for a non-title fight. Hats off to the UK, man. They know how to show up and show out. I mean, when do you see that, man, when there's no belt on the line? Amazing, all British undercard, except for my boy Aaron the Silencer McKenna, repping Ireland. But other than that, man, a card stacked with amazing British fighters. What an undercard it was. I could recap it all, and I will, but what I really want to stress is how great the Conor Benn, Chris Eubank Jr. fight was. I mean, take nothing away from Conor Benn, who, yes, did not get the decision, but man, he was visibly the much smaller guy, and obviously we know him to be a 147-pound fighter. Chris Eubank, most of his career, 168 and 160. Yes, he did have to drain himself a bit and come down in weight. Yes, there were people who were very critical of that, his own father included, in the build-up to the fight. Did have trouble, did have his struggles, did come into the fight very rehydrated, so it seemed like it was an even playing field, despite the fact that, in the build-up to the fight, it seemed like he was struggling, to drop that extra weight. They were meeting in a catch weight, and then they had, I think, a clause where it couldn't be over 170. I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure that Chris Eubank Jr. was well over that. He looked remarkably bigger than Conor Benn, but nevertheless, that did not stop Conor Benn from taking the fight to him. They both had tremendous moments. There were times when Conor Benn rocked Chris Eubank in rounds 11 and 12. Conor Benn was rocked numerous times. Big ups to him for showing incredible heart, incredible determination, and an incredible chin. And it brought back shades of their father's rivalry 30-plus years ago. Just watching these two guys literally go to war. I mean, it was absolutely a sight to behold. Extremely crazy. Again, the crowd, frenzied, maniacal, They loved every minute of it. Of course, when you see me fiddling around on my phone, I will not edit any of this out because you know I don't edit anything. I'm looking for information to give you guys, and I have said it right here, but my guest is here. So the hell with it all. We're getting down and chopping it up. Let's do it right now. Here we go. Got my guy coming in here, man. We ain't going to make him wait. You get your boxing updates when you get your boxing updates. You all got Google. Do your research and go back and watch that Conor Ben Chris Eubank Jr. fight, though. Do yourself a favor. Listen to your Uncle Rexx. Where's my guy? Where's my guy? Do I got you, Reg? Reggie. You just got to enable your camera and your microphone. And let me tell him that. And again, folks, you won't see that edited at all because I will not edit it. No way, no how. Where's my guy, Reggie? Reggie Johnson. We'll get him back in here, folks. You know my motto. Posterity is key here on Off the Couch Boxing. It's all going to stay in, raw, real, unfiltered, all the hiccups, all the technical difficulties. It all stays in. First of all, I'm 52 years old. I'm much too lazy at this stage of my life to do any slick tricks and any editing. It's all staying in. We'll get my boy, Reggie Sweet Johnson, back in here. You know, we don't all have that kind of technical prowess. We just don't, man. So we'll get him in here and we'll get down to this, man. And he's back in here now, man. So let's get down to it. Reggie. Hey, this is Champ. How are you? You gotta unmute your microphone. Do I got
Okay.
you? There you go. Now I got you, Champ. How are you? Can you hear me okay?
Oh, absolutely. I got you, buddy.
Yeah. And I would like to also point out, man, that in honor of having you in here, I am wearing my Fifth Ward Posse hat.
Oh, man. And you know, that's where I'm from, Fifth Ward.
Of course I know. Of course I know. In honor of course, the late, great Bushwick Bill, the Ghetto Boys, Reggie Johnson. I'm rocking it, man.
Hey, and Big George Foreman.
And Big George Foreman, rest in peace. Yeah, we just lost another legend, man. A true legend. Yeah.
Yeah, him and my dad grew up together. And, yeah, man, they was real close together, man. Yeah, man, that was a tough loss, man, with, you know, Big George, man. He paved the way for a lot of us that come from this area with boxing.
Yeah.
And, you know, even though he wasn't from Houston, but he was here when he was a kid. From Marshall, Texas, he moved to Houston and was raised in Fifth Ward, where I was raised at.
And now, correct me if I'm wrong. You know, I'm not in his inner circle like you are. But did anybody see that coming? Had George been having health problems?
Well, that's the problem. That's something that I don't even know because, you know, I hadn't talked to George in a while. You know, his kids or his family, and I used to go to his church sometime. I hadn't been in a while.
Yeah.
And till this day, I don't even know what happened to him.
Big loss in the boxing world, though. Huge,
big loss.
Huge,
absolutely, big loss. Yeah.
And so first of all, I want to ask, man, how much boxing do you watch these days? Are you still an avid fan of the sport? Do you keep up with what's going on?
Hey, I'll forever love the ultimate sport of boxing. It's just that now. You know, it used to be first. As a matter of fact, it came before my kids and my family.
Right.
But, you know, in this day and time, you know, I still love boxing. But you know, I'm not in a position to where, you know, it's taking care of my family and taking care of my community and things of that nature. But I still love the ultimate sport of boxing.
Is there anybody in particular that's fighting currently doing it right now, man? That's like must-see TV for you? Is there anybody that who you look forward to watching fight right now?
Well, Canelo. I like all the top fighters. What's the other guy, the black guy name that's talking about fighting Canelo?
Bud Crawford.
Bud Crawford. Yeah, all those guys, man. We got some them guys are the face of boxing right now. And they carrying on what we pretty much put together. They picking up where a lot of us left off at.
Now you got such an incredible resume, man. I'm wondering, man. I might have asked you this the first time that you were on here, man. But who gave Reggie Johnson his toughest fight?
Well, no doubt the toughest fight was the best of our era, Roy Jones Jr.
Yes.
And and that was a fight that we was fighting for. All the belts was online.
Yeah.
And he was the best of our era. And James Toney was a tough fight too.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just had James on a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah. He's a funny guy, ain't he?
He is a funny. Yeah. And now you lost a split decision to him, though. A split decision.
Well, to this day, in my heart and in my mind, I feel that that's a fight that I won. But it comes with boxing, man. And as a matter of fact, I'm gonna share something with you, and I want you to do this here when you have time.
Okay.
Go back and watch that fight.
I will.
Just the second round, and when I dropped James Toney in the second round, that referee. The last referee who had me behind, I think 2 or 3 points, she hit the deck with both her hands. She was pissed at her, and she a judge.
Yeah.
So go back and watch that. You'll see her hit it with both of her hands. When I drop him, she hit the table with both hands. She was mad.
James Toney fan must be.
Oh yes, absolutely. Well, she one of the fans was one of the judges.
Yeah. And you also lost a split decision. And I'm always curious about split decisions because obviously, that means that somebody, for boxing fans that don't know, and I don't know who would know this, but that means that there was obviously, a person that went, a judge that went for your opponent, and a couple of judges that went for the other guy. You know what I mean? So that means somebody did think that you won the fight. So is there one split decision in your career? And maybe it is the James Toney fight. Is there a split decision that really sticks in your craw? Like obviously you think you won the James Toney fight. Another one you had a split decision with was Antonio Tarver. How'd you feel about that split decision?
No. That fight, I think that was a fight that Tarver won. Yeah.
Okay.
I think Tarver won that fight. But
okay.
I got 3 fights in Argentina. 3 fights in Argentina.
Jorge Castro.
Was all split decisions.
Yep.
2 of them with Castro and then John David Jackson. Yeah, of course. Those were political losses, man.
Okay. And I'm glad you're saying that, man, because obviously, man, there has been, and I think anybody that follows boxing knows there's always been a dirty side. There's always a political side. There's always a business side to boxing.
Well, all we gotta do is start at the beginning. Who invented boxing? They started with the mob, didn't it?
Right.
Bare knuckles.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. And I'm curious because I've asked other guys this. Now you only have 1 draw on your record, but when you get a draw in a fight with another man, how do you come out of the ring and view a draw? What does a draw feel like to you? Does a draw feel like a loss? How does a draw feel to you?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, back then when I had that draw, I mean, you can live with that.
Yeah.
But think about the 4 political losses. I think about the 4 political losses that I had.
Yeah.
So it could have been that draw could have been added to those other 4 political losses.
Absolutely.
My whole thing, man, was to go in there, give it all you got, and come on, man. You when you had so many fights, amateur and pro, 96-12 as an amateur, 52 pro fights, and fighting on that level, you do know when you win, and then you do know when it's such a close fight oh man, I don't know if I won it. 50-50. Well, come on, man.
Yeah.
That's just like till this day. Whenever I see James Toney, I just saw him at the Hall of Fame. We go back and forth. We put on a show for people, man.
I know. And James is one of those kind of guys, man, and I guess rightfully so. I guess it's just in his nature as a fighter, man. But even though James has losses on his record, if you ask James, nobody's ever beaten him.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's part of the character.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about. James, he's a character, man. Hey, and like one time we was at the Hall of Fame going back and forth about our fight. People everywhere, and he like, oh, Reggie, man, oh, you did, you ran the whole fight. I say, God dang, James, you right. That's what I was. That's what I was doing when I dropped you. I was running. He started dancing. He just started dancing and laughing.
Yeah.
But hey, but you know what? Think about it, man. On that level, that was my first world title fight. I was the number one mandatory because Michael Nunn was supposed to have been fighting me, and he fought Tony.
Yep.
And Tony came back and beat him.
Yep.
But man, hey, man, I've been blessed by the best. I'm pretty sure James Toney and most fighters who's fought and on that level and won world titles, been champion for a while. Man, we all been blessed by the best, man.
Now, from a fan standpoint, though, man, taking yourself out of the equation, man, who's the one fighter that you've looked at and just said, wow, that guy just really has all the gifts and all the tools? Who's the best fighter that you've ever seen do it?
You already know the answer to that, man.
Muhammad?
Oh, you talking about? I thought you were talking about a fighter that I fought. Oh, Muhammad Ali. That's me. You're right. That's my hero, man. That's my guy. Muhammad Ali is my hero. And then the one that I fought, Roy Jones was the best of our era back then.
Yeah, I agree. And so I asked you your toughest fight, man, but it might not necessarily be. The answer might not still be Roy, but who hit you the hardest? You always remember when you take a good one. I'm sure that you remember the guy that socked you the hardest.
Well. I would have to say Roy Jones because speed generates power, and then when you don't even see that, the next thing I know, I was just getting up off the canvas. So yeah, absolutely, Roy Jones. And then let me tell you, even I didn't get cracked with a lot of punches with James Toney. James could crack, man. When you're on that level, man, these guys and look think about this, man. Think about what James Toney did.
Yeah.
James Toney went all the way up to heavyweight, and he stopped one of the greatest heavyweights of all time.
I know. I know. 160 to heavyweight, man. There's not a lot of guys that could pull that off. Crazy.
Oh, and he stopped one of the best of all times.
Yeah. I know.
Evander Holyfield.
Pretty incredible. I know. Yeah, pretty incredible.
And then I forgot the other fight he fought. That other heavyweight that was pretty good too, man. Tony, hey man, those unbelievable, man. Like I say, I was blessed by the best, and when I look back over my career, I think I tell you what's worse to me, fighting in different countries, fighting the 3 losses I had in Argentina. Every time I fought in Argentina 3 times, I lost split decisions. John David Jackson, they took my title, and then I fought Castro twice over there, and then come on. If it's a split decision in a guy's backyard, who you think really won that fight?
Right. You're right. Good point. Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
And now you held the WBA Middleweight Championship, but you also held the IBF Light Heavyweight Champion. So I'd like to ask you, man, where did you feel like you did your best fighting? At what weight?
Well, I think, man, both of them was. I enjoyed both of them. The middleweight, winning it for the first time, but that light heavyweight, just being able to fight on that level and fight the best of the era. Roy Jones Jr., the light heavyweight. Then I think I was the 8-2 or 8-something underdog when I moved up 2 weight classes because I was gonna move up from 60 to 68, but that opportunity came. I went on up to 75 and fought William Guthrie, who had just won the light heavyweight, and I was the underdog against him, and that was knockout of the year against William Guthrie from St. Louis.
Is it better when you go into a fight? Do you like going into a fight being the underdog?
Well, I've learned to like that when I think in retrospect of my
Yeah.
career. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that put something on you that you take it to even a deeper and a longer and stronger level.
And now I mentioned all the great names on your resume. Is there anybody's name that's not on the resume, like a fight that maybe you wanted your team or your management to make happen, and it just fell through, didn't happen?
Ooh, let's see. It was well, I remember at one while Terry Norris was going to move up and fight me from 54 to middleweight, and then
Okay.
that's when he got knocked out. He got stopped.
Yep.
I think that the Terry Norris fight. I'm trying to think of a couple of other fights that came uh came to me but didn't happen. But it's been two or three of them. Yeah.
Was it hard for you? How did you know like when it was time to retire?
Well, as a matter of fact, I came in my last fight. I think I was 42, 43 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I fought the late Julio Gonzalez. He and I used to be in the gym together.
Yep.
And when I lived in California, and then think about it, years later, we ended up having to fight each other for a world title, and that was my last fight. And I won a decision, and just thinking about the history, man. We just lost Big George, and now I'm bringing up Julio Gonzalez. This is somebody that I have boxing history with.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
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 And Gonzalez was hey man, he was a bad dude. He was a good man, and I met his family, and I just got inducted into the Hall of Fame this past April.
Well
Well, last
deserved.
April,
Yep.
last April, the National Boxing Hall of Fame and this should shoot me into the international because my name did come up and I didn't make it about 3 years ago. But man, just thinking about man, the fighters that I fought that who's no longer with us, and I
I
think it's like
know.
two or three of them, man. It's man, we even though we were trying to knock each other teeth out,
Yeah.
there's a brotherhood that comes with that, man. You know what I'm
Yes, there
saying?
is. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
brotherhood that comes with that.
So I'm glad you brought up the International Boxing Hall of Fame, man. So you obviously feel like you belong there. I agree with you. I agree.
Well, like when I spoke at the National Boxing Hall of Fame in April, uh, I pretty much said what I was told. Just like you got to learn how to crawl before you can walk. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I understand that the national, then the International Boxing Hall of Fame. And that's the thing. I told you my name came up one time already in the
Yep.
International Boxing Hall of Fame about 2-3 years ago. But yeah.
And for people that don't know, man, if I can go back in time a little bit, man, how old were you when you first got a pair of boxing gloves on?
I started boxing at age 12.
12. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
And
same as Muhammad Ali.
and was there anybody that you were watching on TV? Did you have a boxing hero at that time? Like, was it Muhammad? Were there other guys besides Muhammad?
Well, even before I mentioned Muhammad Ali, my late uncle Kenneth Iron Man Walker and his best friend Dennis Benjamin, they the one took me to the Salvation Army Boys Club.
Okay.
And I think the first day they put me in the ring, I sparred with a guy who had a kid who had probably 10 to 15 amateur fights. And I was introduced to the late Mr. James Carter, who was the head coach at the Salvation Army Boys Club. And I just remember getting in there for the first time with gloves. When they was taking the glove and headgear and the mouthpiece out, Mr. Carter, he said, "Young man, don't you know you could become champion of the world?" And hey, man, I held on to that. I just felt so comfortable. I was happy. And to see my uncle and his best friend who took me there, to see them walking around like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's my nephew, But hey, man, that was it for everything else for me, man. Boxing, my whole life been boxing since age 12.
Do you feel like it came naturally to you?
Oh, absolutely, naturally.
Yeah.
And then when you think in retrospect over the years, you find out things, man. Life or who you related to.
Yeah.
And when my dad passed away, I flew my late grandmother. She was what 94, 95 then, and my aunt and them from Tucson to my dad's funeral. I flew them to Houston, Texas, and we sitting at the table, and I never knew that my grandfather, my dad's dad, was a boxer.
Wow. No kidding.
I never knew that because he died when I was about 18 months old. I wasn't even 2 years old yet.
Didn't even
So
know him.
I didn't even know him. And guess what his name was?
Huh.
Jack Johnson.
No kidding.
And check this out. It's not D. Jack Johnson, but I also found out that I was related to D. Jack Johnson.
Wow. Now that's history right there. That's history.
Oh, yeah. It's out there in some of my stuff about Jack Johnson. Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy. And arguably, man, you know, the greatest heavyweight of all time. I mean, you got to have Muhammad in the question. I mean, but Jack Johnson was really there at the very beginning.
Oh, yeah. He started it for everybody. He, a matter of fact, he laid it out for Muhammad Ali.
And he's kind of like the Jackie Robinson of the era because he took a lot of abuse because of his color.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot.
Absolutely, man. Yeah.
And now you're such a likable, gregarious guy, man. You know, I know you can turn it on in the ring or whatever, man. Certainly, but it seems like it would be more business for you. Did any of these opponents ever really get under your skin, man? Like, was there ever a fight that was really in the build up to it ever got personal with you? Did anybody get under your skin?
No, I don't recall that. But you know, there's been some times like when you know, on a scale, a guy get to talking to you crazy.
Right.
Of course you're going to respond, and but I never lost my cool. And when I responded back to them, and that didn't happen a lot, man. Because my whole thing is one thing I know, man. When the bell ring, you gonna understand what I'm saying, and I'm gonna understand what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I want to ask you, man. You know, obviously at the top of the interview, I showed you the hat. You know, we mentioned you being from Houston, from the 5th Ward. Obviously, it has a reputation as a rough neighborhood, man. You know, before you got into the boxing, man, were you a kid that was getting into a lot of fights?
Oh, no. I got into, you know, I tell people this all the time, man. The most times I got into arguments or fights, it was like when I was in middle school and even when I was in high school a little bit. It's me defending people that was being bullied.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think it was in junior high. I got disqualified I'm talking about disqualified. I got suspended for 2 times getting into a fight, and I'm defending somebody who's being bullied. How
do you like that? Yeah.
Well, you know, when I think in retrospect, you know, I didn't like being suspended, but you know, I thought what I was doing was, you know, something I would want somebody to be there for one of my kids or somebody.
Absolutely. Yeah, no doubt about that. And for people that don't know, you know, on that along that same line, you know, talking about Houston in the 5th Ward, you know, I'll bring it up. I know we talked about it the first time, man. You know, you grew up and had a friendship with the legendary hip hop group, the Ghetto Boys.
Oh, absolutely. You remember that, huh?
Those are your guys. Hey, listen, man, I'm a diehard fan. I got the hat because Bushwick was wearing it on the cover of the album.
Yeah, man. Now, I was real, me and lived in the same gated community, Scarface, these, you know, but me and Willie D came up together because Willie D was boxing, and then the boys club, and then he started with the rapping. But let me tell you something about the history of boxing.
Yep.
Willie D uncle and my dad grew up together. As a matter of fact, his uncle always tell a story when I see him. Him and my dad got into a fight over a girl. I think they was in the middle school or early high school.
It's always a woman, isn't it, Reggie? It's always a woman.
Yeah, but this gonna blow your mind. You know who Willie D uncle is?
No.
Melvin Dennis. He fought Vito Amafermo.
Yeah.
He fought Whipper Benitez. And guess who he knocked out in a pro fight?
Who?
Roy Jones Jr. dad.
Wow, talk about a tie-in right there, huh?
That's what I'm saying. Hey man, there's nothing that can compete with boxing, man. The ultimate sport of boxing. I
It's a
mean, the
small world.
history.
It's a small world, and it ties things together.
Oh man, and think about it. They started with bare knuckles, man, and then we wonder why come it's so. The promoters like the taking all the money or dictating the money. Who started it? The mob
Right.
started this.
Right.
Yeah,
And now,
yeah.
obviously, I'm saying that I'm a big Ghetto Boys fan. I know the history, of the members of the Ghetto Boys. I've done my homework. I've read Scarface's book. I mean, like I know about the guys. But for people that don't know, man, you mentioned Willie D started out boxing, man. How good was Willie D as a boxer, in your opinion?
Well, I think Willie D was good, but it's just that when he started rapping, he hung on to that the way I hung on to the boxing. And Willie D had, let me see, I think he had 3 pro fights. He came back over. Me and him was walking at a park that I run at, and me and him was together, and we was walking. And this is after the Roy Jones fight, and so me and him walking, and we were running and walking, but we was walking, and he said, "Man, Reggie, you need to hell with these promoters, man. You need to promote your own fights. We can do this." But I said, "Man, you know what? That's what I've been thinking about, Will." I said, "That's what I want to do." So
Yeah.
we have, and then as we walking, he say, "And then I'll fight on the card." I started laughing because I thought he was joking then, but he was serious. And Willie D ended up having, I think he had 3 or 4 pro fights.
And would Willie D, in your opinion, would Willie have made a good pro?
Yeah, I mean, especially if he would have started off, stayed with it back when we started.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he started when that rap music came. He went, which was, hey man, the Ghetto Boys, man, them guys, they were great, man. They put Houston on the map.
Yeah, absolutely. And so when Willie D's rap career takes off, man, and he's touring around the world and stuff like that, and you're doing the boxing thing, did you guys maintain a relationship?
Oh, absolutely.
Always?
When I moved to California, he used to come to California all the time. And then whenever I would go to some of his concerts,
Yep.
yeah. Oh, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And would he come to your? And so obviously he would probably come to your fights then, right?
Oh man, he was at most of the fights. As a matter of fact, when I won the world title in my second try against the guy from God, what's his name? My mind's going blank. But Willie D was there, and they showed Willie D on TV. He jumping off the thing, and oh yeah, yeah, yes indeed. He been to a lot of my fights.
If it wasn't boxing, if that wasn't the career, man, what would you have don, in your opinion, do you think? Like, were you good at other sports? Were you athletic? Do you think sports would have been like another, is there another avenue you would have took, or was boxing always the goal?
Well, I must say I started off with the football. I played football even when I was young. I'm like, 7, 8 years old playing football at the YMCA. So it probably would have been probably football if it wasn't boxing. But like I told you, when you find something that it's all about you, you control everything.
Yep.
You can't pass the gloves and say, "Hey, take this next round for me." You can't do that.
Right.
So, but the day I put them gloves on, man, my career started when I was 12, man. 'Cause the day I put them gloves on.
If there was a fight that you could point at in your career and say, if you want to see me at my best, if you want to see Reggie Sweet Johnson at his best, put this fight on and watch it. What would be the fight that you would point people to?
Well, I think that'd be almost a handful of fights, man. When I won the world title, I was the underdog. The James Toney fight,
Without a doubt.
even though they say I lost, that's a fight I think to this day in my heart I know I won. But and then being a fighter, fighting 3 times in Argentina, all those are political losses, all 3 of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, and hey man, and being a part of the history, fighting the best of the era, Roy Jones Jr. All the belts was on the line.
Now, that's the episode that I got to have here on Off the Couch Boxing. The next time I got to have you and James in the same room together. Boy, that's an episode right there.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I tell you what would be good. You have me, James, and Roy Jones. That would be big. Because we all fought each other. We all fought each other.
Yeah. And of course, James is never at a loss for words.
Oh, James, he's a comedian, man. And then
I've had him on a couple times. He's the best, though. He is.
And you know what? Another thing, if you don't really know him, you think this dude is really serious, man. But a lot of times we be playing, you know how it's off.
Yeah. But he did tell me, but he did tell me a great story. And again, I've had him on a couple times. I recently just had him on just a couple of weeks ago. And he told me, I think he was talking about the time when he was around middleweight or 160 or 168. And he was actually over in England, and he actually went to the homes of Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank.
Oh, yeah, I think he told me about that, too. Yeah.
And he rang the doorbell, man. And I don't think he wanted to fight him outside the ring. I think it was just kind of like a gut check, you know what I mean? Just to see if they were really about it, you know what I mean? Like wanted to just get face-to-face with them, man. So, you know what I mean? Like James is a real one. He really is.
Oh, man, that dude, hey. All you got to do, man, if you just this one thing, man, and think about it. I think even if Tony would have been even more disciplined with the training, man, but look how big Tony was, and you look at how the shit when he look what he did with Holyfield, one of the best of our. Come on, man.
I know.
And then I forgot that other guy he fought, that big guy. He fought him twice. I think they fought to a draw one time, and then the other guy won one, but the next one they fought to a draw. I would have to go back and look at. Hey, man, but hey, it's unbelievable, man.
I think maybe you might be talking about Samuel Peter.
That's him. That's the
guy. Right. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Samuel Peters. They fought twice, right?
Yes, they did. Yep.
Ooh, man.
Yep. And James was not happy, man. I've asked James about that fight. James is not happy about that loss.
But then they fought twice, but one of them was a draw or what?
Yeah. I think they had a draw once, and I think Samuel beat him the other one.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
But beating Holyfield, though, man, I mean, that really cements his legacy, because going from 160 all the way up to heavyweight, and not just going up to heavyweight, but as you said, man, beating the great Evander Holyfield is no small task.
It's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. And with mentioning Evander Holyfield, during the time, I remember he, like myself, he and I was lucky to get on the U.S. team.
Yeah.
You know, he was fighting 178, and I was fighting 156. And we kind of like made it on the U.S. team at the same time. And
now, were you somebody that struggled making weight, or did you pretty much walk around pretty close to your fighting weight all the time? You seem like a very disciplined guy.
No. I'm disciplined. I never had no problems. And then I moved up in weight when I had no problem making the weights 160. Then I was gonna move up to 68. And then that opportunity came for me to fight for the world title at 175, and William Guthrie, who was undefeated, and I moved up in 2 weight classes and beat him.
Now, another guy that I've had on the podcast, I've only had him on once, man, but he was a fun interview, man. But I've had Lamar Kidfire Parks on here, another guy you fought.
Oh, he was here in my hometown not too long ago. And
what a great guy, too. What a great guy, man. I was so happy to have him on the podcast, because I looked on YouTube and I scoured YouTube and I thought, you know what, man, this is going to be a great episode, because there's not many Kidfire interviews out there.
There's not, man. And you know his history, and
of course
why he had to end up stop boxing. But that guy he still got a good spirit. As a matter of fact, when he was here for about a week, we hung out, man, about 3-4 days. I even took him to some doctors, man.
Yeah.
For his situation, man.
Yep.
And if you look at him, he still looked the same. I mean,
great. He looks great. Yeah.
Yes.
And so I want to ask, man, because you did beat him via a unanimous decision, but I feel like at the time, man, when he came into the fight, he was undefeated. And I feel like, man, because as you mentioned, all the personal stuff that happened, in his life, though, but I feel like, man, he was one of those fighters that was extremely talented, and sometimes in the history of boxing is not often talked about a little bit, man. But what was your experience like, and what did you feel like he was? What was your assessment of him as a fighter?
Man, I think he was a great fighter, and I can say that only now because of me and him fought 12 rounds.
Yeah.
And think about it. He was signed with Madison Square Garden. He was undefeated. I think out of all when me and him fought, every fight he had, he knocked everybody out except two or three people.
Yeah, yeah.
And then my whole thing is I had this deal with the promoters I was with when I won the world title. I want my first world title defense to be in my hometown, and the fight was here in Houston, Texas, my hometown, at the Summit where the Houston Rockets used to play.
Oh yeah, I remember the Summit. Yeah.
Yeah. We fought there, and everything went great, man. And I really and truly think going in there fighting a guy on his terms. You think I'm gonna stay there and slug with him?
Right.
And I thought about something I was taught by Curtis Coates, former welterweight champion. When I turned pro at 17, they hired him to train me from Dallas, Texas.
Oh yeah, Curtis was great.
The first day he put me in the ring, he let me get in there, shadow box 3 rounds. Then the 4th round, he got in the ring. We just watching, and then he stopped me, Reggie, come here, and he told me something that made all the sense to me. He said, Reggie, he said, you see those legs you position yourself to hit a man with? He said, they're the same goddamn legs you use to get the hell out the way.
Yeah.
He said, he said, people think boxing is, big part though. Yeah, you got to hit him with your fist, but it all starts with your legs. If you position yourself to hit a man and position yourself to get the hell out the way, you're going to win.
Yeah.
And I held on to that, man.
And now for people that might not know, man, before I let you out of here, man, catch people a little bit up to speed on what life after boxing has been like for you, man. Like, what are you currently up to, man? Like, tell the fans, like, what's going on in Reggie Johnson's life now.
Well, we have a family business, and my 2 sisters, I got twin sisters, there's 3 of us, they pretty much run that. They out helping people in life, getting money, all that stuff. And me personally, what I do, man, sometimes I get invited here, get invited there, travel, and do a lot of charity work. And going back to the Salvation Army Boys Club where I started, and even just helping people that's on the streets, man. That's pretty much my thing. But and I'm always blessed. Something always come up. It's a boxing event or something that somebody hey, Reggie, we want to have you here. What is it going to cost to get you to, and I have my daughter and my sister handle that business. And yeah, man, life is good. And I'm 58 years old, man. And one of the things I can say that you can't probably even say, I've never had nothing foreign in my body, not even a beer. Can you say that?
Well, Reggie, I'm gonna say that I'd be lying if I said yes. Yes. No, I have not, Reggie. Yes, I have partaken. I've never been a big drinker at all, man, but I have had a lot of years where I did like the old marijuana.
Okay, well, I got something that's gonna make you a little happy then, since you said that. I was drunk one time. That goddamn Roy Jones 1-2 punch.
It's a different kind of drunk right there, though.
Yes, indeed. And I got paid for it.
Yeah, that's the important thing right there, man. Getting paid for it, man. Usually, every time that I ended up drunk, man, it was usually on a bathroom floor, laying next to a toilet for the whole night. That's not very fun.
Yeah.
But listen, man, I always love having you on here, man. It's always great catching up with you, man. I have your phone number, man. We'll definitely do this again. And the next time, as long as it's okay with you, I'm setting it up, and I'm going to get you and James both in here, because I think sitting back and seeing you 2 men steal the show would be the best thing ever.
Oh, yeah. Hey, that's going to be good, man. Yeah, Tony, hey, man.
And James is down for it. I've got James's personal number too. And as a matter of fact, man, the first time I had him on, I did everything through his son. So I reached out to him a couple of weeks ago because I wanted to have him on again. And I thought, okay, I'm probably going to get Junior again. And I actually got James. And so I said, let me send you another link just to make sure, because he's not really great with the technology. So I sent him a link just like I did you this afternoon. And suddenly I was at my day job again, and he popped on. And I said, oh, man, this is great. You still got it on your device. You know, it's the same platform I used the first time. You know, and so he did it all himself. I was proud of him. He did it all by himself.
Oh yeah, well I'm like that too, man. I'm a little slow.
Me too.
My grandkids be helping me with stuff, and then of course my kids, man, they know how all this stuff goes. It's their generation, man. You know, they got
It is. Don't let the podcast fool you. I mean, all I can really do is open up this damn computer and find my way onto here. There's not a lot of other stuff I can do, man. Even though I have a podcast, man, I think people automatically think, oh, you've got a podcast, you must be good with technology, man. But it doesn't take a lot to do this, man. I've got one program that I use, you know, that I send you the link for. I've got a webcam here. I've got a microphone, and that's about the extent of my knowledge right there. That's it.
Hey man, and I love the way you got your whole background with that ring in the back. That's beautiful, man. I love it.
Thank you.
I love it.
I appreciate that. And I've got a plethora of different hats here that I use, man. But I specifically brought out the Fifth Ward Posse hat for you today.
Thank you, man. Hey, boy, that's Fifth Ward, man. And as a matter of fact, I was just talking about that day before yesterday, because I had like a lot of time I used to wait right behind Wheatley High School, the apartments that we lived in. Man, I haven't been in a while, but I used to go there all the time and just park the car, just sit there, and then sometimes I get and walk through the apartments and just talking with the people, man, just telling them the story. And then my mother, Wheatley High School is right there. It's called Wheatley High School. That's where my mother went. And when I was a little kid, you had a kid like that when you could take your kid. I used to go to school with my mother when I had to be about 4 or 5 years old or something like that.
Yeah. And so, that's great, man. I love the fact that you still go into the neighborhood and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, well, it's, you know, even when you don't live there no more, right? You probably always feel like it's home. It's your neighborhood.
Oh, yeah, it's home, man. And it's not only where I was raised in Fifth Ward, I mean, all over, man, you know. I'm a people's person, and I love helping people, because I had somebody there for me. Well, my uncle and his best friend took me to boxing, but the late Mr. James Carter, who was the head coach at the Salvation Army Boys Club, that man he the one told me the first day I put gloves on, young man, you can become champion of the world. Until this day now, these people still, a lot of guys who like was at the Boys Club or know Mr. Carter and so, oh, Mr. Carter spoiled you, man. Your white daddy. They call him my white dad, Mr. Carter, man. Yeah.
But you know what, though, man? Thank God sometimes those people come along in our lives, though, you know?
Yeah, but did you ever go if you put Reggie Johnson bio, put the words together, put that in on YouTube, it'll tell my whole story in 5 minutes. You'll see Mr. Carter, my late uncle.
Oh, I'll do that for sure. Yeah.
My late mother, my late father, all those, man, it's just amazing, man. When I look at that, it brings tears to my eyes, because all my people, most of them gone.
I know. And we definitely got to get you in the International Boxing Hall of Fame. I only live about 20 minutes away from the International Boxing Hall of Fame. It's right down the road for me.
Oh, man, I've been there about 8, 9, maybe 10 times over the years. Wow.
Yeah. I plan on going to Hall of Fame weekend here in June. We got one coming up in June. Manny Pacquiao's going in, and it's always exciting going up on Hall of Fame weekend. You know, I mean, there's always a lot going on. It's a great weekend for the fans. You know, it's very interactive. A lot of the fighters are walking around. They're accessible. You can walk up to them. You can get pictures. You can get stuff signed.
Oh, trust me, man. I've been there about 9 or 10 times over the years, so and I love it. I love it. Upstate New York, man. Yeah, I love it.
Well, we got to get you up here again.
Well, I'm gonna tell you another thing that'll really help too. Like if you send something in there right to the Hall of Fame and said, "Well, I mean, have you guys thought about what about Reggie, Johnson?"
I'm adding your name to the list. I've got about 3 or 4 names, and I've been very public on this podcast about names of people that I think need to go in. I'm going to do my research and find out if it's a board of directors. I know sports writers have a little bit to do with it, boxing journalists, but I'm going to get a petition going. As a matter of fact, when I go up in June, and I'm going to add your name to it. I've got a couple of names of people that I need to see in there. I need to see Paul the Punisher Williams. I need to see the late great Vernon Forrest. I need to see you in there, and I need to see Shannon Briggs in there.
And hey man, you're right about that because like
and
I
I'm
told
sorry,
you.
And I also need to see Zab Judah.
Oh, absolutely. And guess what? My name came up already one time. So
well, you should be in there. You should be in there. You're a two-time world champion, man. You've got for 44 victories. I mean, yeah, you belong in there.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna make it happen, Reggie. We're gonna make it happen. I'm gonna knock down some doors, Reggie. Believe me.
Okay. All right, buddy. All right.
Yeah. I appreciate talking to you, man. Love talking to you, man. Definitely keep in touch. We'll do this again, brother, for sure.
Okay, and that's another thing too. I'm trying to think of. I need to put together a list of some other fighters that you can have on your. I mean, some noted fighters that you can have on your show.
Please do. If you can send anybody my way, if you know anybody that you can reach out to, man, of course. And I still got to have an episode with you and James, and I need to have an episode with you and Willie D.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, we can do that. I'll get Willie D. Yeah.
We got to make that happen, man, because that's going to be a big moment for me, man, because it's a boxing show, but it kind of ties in because Willie D, he did box, and of course, as a Ghetto Boy fan, that'd be a big deal for me.
And then you just learned about his uncle, Melvin Dennis.
I'm going to research that tonight. That's crazy.
Yeah, Melvin Dennis, he passed away, man, but I was at his funeral, but Melvin and my dad was like, oh, man, they was close, man. And they all started in middle school, I think it was. They got into a fight over a girl.
Oh, I'm going to do it. Yeah. I'm going to definitely do a dive on that and do my history on that. I find that super interesting. That's cool. That's a cool little tidbit of information. I like that.
Yeah, man. Hey, and if you think about it, when you see Melvin and see Willie, they look at Willie D mother and Melvin were twins.
Oh, no kidding. Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They was twins, man. Yeah,
we got some episodes to make happen here, champ. We're gonna be in touch for sure.
Yeah, and then that'd probably be a good thing too. When you do have Willie D on there, you can have me on there with you.
I have to. I got no way to get a hold of Willie D. Yeah.
Okay, no. I'm gonna hook you up. God, man, I can't even send you his number, but I'm gonna call him, man, and just let him know.
Yeah. So all I'd have to do is I would send you a link the same way that I did for you to come on here, and then all you got to do is take that link and just, you can have somebody help you do it. Just copy it and send it to his phone, and that'll bring him right into the same room with us.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, I know how to do that. Okay.
That's all you gotta do is just copy and paste that link that I send you, and then send it right to his phone. Whatever time we agree upon, and then you guys would both pop in here.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I definitely do that, man.
Yeah. I'll keep in touch for sure, man. It's always great talking to you, Reggie. Thanks for doing this, buddy. Really.
Okay. I appreciate you, man. And man,
always.
You got the show still going, man. It's beautiful, man.
I'm going to keep it going. The last time you were on, I had my son co-hosting. Remember, my son was co-hosting with me.
Yeah, your son was there. That's right. I remember.
I'm hoping to have him come back and start doing some episodes. The only reason that he kind of fell off a little bit is because, he's got my grandkids. He's got a family. He's got 4 children. It's hard for him to get on here all the time, Yeah,
I understand. I understand that, man.
He's got family duties, man. So, the show's got to go on. I keep it going.
Okay, and I keep in touch with you and let you know, because I'm gonna try to make it June to the Hall of Fame.
Please do. Oh, I'd love to see you there. I'd love to see you. Yeah, I'll interview you. I'll interview you in person. We'll get together up there. Yeah.
Okay. All right, buddy.
All right. Good talking to you, Reggie. We'll talk soon, my friend.
Okay.
All right. Later.
All right.
And there he goes, folks. The great Reggie Sweet Johnson. Houston's 5th Ward's own Reggie Sweet Johnson. I'm rocking the hat in tribute to, of course, Reggie and the great Ghetto Boys. Come on, man. One of the greatest hip-hop groups of all time, man. Houston representing. But that is Reggie Sweet Johnson, 2-time world champion, and another guy we got to add to that list to get into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. 44 wins, 7 losses, 1 draw, 25 knockouts. The WBA Middleweight Champion, 92-93. The IBF Light Heavyweight Champion, 98-99. The resume, let me give it to you again, man. Notable fights, win, lose, or draw. I'm just telling you who he's been in the ring with. Antonio Tarver, Roy Jones Jr., Jorge Castro, John David Jackson, Lamar Kid Fire Parks, Steve Collins, James Toney. An amazing resume, an amazing career, a 2-time world champion, a personal friend of the show, a guy that I absolutely love, man. Could listen to him just take me down memory lane all night long, man. I love Reggie Sweet Johnson, man. And we are going to add him to the list. We are going to get him in the International Boxing Hall of Fame because he belongs there. It's the right thing. Come on, man. I mean, how much more decorated does a guy have to be? There are guys in the Hall of Fame, I won't mention names, that are less decorated by far. And so Reggie belongs in there, man. And, you know, that's my guy right there, man. Enjoyed so much watching his career, man. And go back and watch some of those classic fights, man, with James Toney, a polarizing one. I'm going to get him and James on here, man, and let them hash it out for you guys, man. That's coming soon in the next couple weeks. Count on it, man. I got Reggie's number. I got James's number. We're going to get him in here, man. I'm just going to sit back. I'm going to sit back and moderate. I don't even want to call myself a moderator. I probably won't get a word in edgewise, man. But it'll be fun, man. We'll let them hash it out. We'll let them recap the fight for us, man. And that'll be good, man. In a friendly way. So, again, thank you to my man, Reggie Sweet Johnson, man. Again, make sure to like and follow Off the Couch Boxing on Facebook. And be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay tapped in, man, to the most amazing and real boxing conversations anywhere. They happen right here. We are, of course, the undisputed, undefeated heavyweight champion of boxing podcast. And you too can be a champion. All you got to do is stay tapped in with Off the Couch Boxing and continue to roll with the champs. Peace.